talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zola. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money. Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time.
That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good.
Very good.
Coming in hot, Jimmy, coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Oh.
Good morning, America. I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, where? Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
And never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Do, be, do, be.
Well, hello. And you welcome into another edition of Braylon Lee's Virtual Tour Live. We are live on tour this morning. Glad to have all you here in the building. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 10 destination show for you. I've done 3 10 destination shows so far this year, which that should let you know how much is going on. Erica Schwartz could be the new CBC director. She is advancing in her nomination. We'll talk about that this morning. On Ojinika Obiekwe, she worked at Pix 11 TV, and she sued for racial discrimination and won. We'll get into that. Oprah is shutting down her school in Africa for girls. She is. We'll talk about the transition this morning as well. Beyonce has full ownership. Let me say that again. Has full ownership, right? Over Sir Davis Whiskey. So, very, very big news there. We'll talk about that as well. Like I said, we got 10 destinations for you. Hearst Communications has bought Disney's stake in A&E Global Media, so some huge news there. Bowie State University is doing something big for nursing, doing a first, okay? So can't wait to talk to you about that. The Congressional Black Caucus could be erased, and a Republican is trying to do it. Of course, we'll give you the intel on that as well. Angelica Whaley is trying to make luxury available for all Black people, and we love that type of energy. We'll talk about that. Howard University, the interim president, has a response for what is going on. You guys know there were 500 students unenrolled at Howard University. Okay? And then what if I told you that there was an unreleased album for Whitney Houston and Brandy? And what if I told you that album was Cinderella? Yeah, our Cinderella. Apparently there's an album out here, and there's been a 30-year fight for it. We got a whole lot to talk about and a whole lot to get through. Let's get to it because Higher is waiting. Lower's available, but either way, we got to go on to it. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And one thing to know, and 2 things for sure, that over here on this channel, a lot happens early. Roll it.
It's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early.
I'm Harry Smith.
I'm Julie Chen. I'm Maggie Rodriguez.
Morning everywhere. Come on, get up.
I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Dave Price. And it's a little early for this.
Now this it's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early. Every day's good when you started it up right. But I went in the daylight. And a lot happens early. Can you feel it? And I said,
Good morning, everybody.
Are you girls ready for the Jonas Brothers?
We have an early show exclusive. Yes.
A lot happens early.
A lot happens early.
The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.
It's a new morning.
Is a new morning for America's family, for all of us trying to do right in the world, everybody. Yes, indeed, it is a new morning. Julie Chen Moonves. You see that? Yes, it is a new morning. Julie Chen Moonves. Sorry, y'all, my brain's still waking up. It is a new morning. Julie Chen Moonves. And to Russ Mitchell, Dave Price, Harry Smith, and Maggie Rodriguez. You are absolutely right. A lot on this channel right here. Wait for it. Happens early. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully all is well for each and every single one of you. Let's get to the getting and doing what we do. 10 destinations for you all. Excuse me, this morning. Here we go. Oh my God. By the way, tonight we are going to be talking about the Disney Pop Century Resort. I found some brands that I think could help give Disney Pop Century Resort new life. And then at 8:30, we're talking about Ticket TV. Because that Negro is doing way too much on the internet. Way too much. Way too much. Way too much. I got receipts for y'all at 8:30, so be here for that. I'm doing the show a little bit earlier this morning because I do have something to do today. But I will be back through. So. There we go. Okay. So here we go, everybody. Shout out to rollingout.com, celebrating 25 years on to the next 25 years. Erica Schwartz advances toward historic CDC role. Dr. Erica Schwartz clears a hurdle, but questions remain about her willingness to political pressure. Now, here's my thing, right? Here is my thing, right? Political pressure, and we have a president who had to pay like $5-something million to Eden Carroll because he basically raped her in a dressing room. In the Epstein files, it was shown that he raped a 13-year-old girl, had young women force fellatio on him, and judged the tightness of their gines and their vulvas. Utilized campaign funds to pay off an adult star while cheating on his wife. Got convicted of being a felon. Okay. Can't serve on New York board for 3 years and was found guilty in court. And y'all asking this woman if she will buckle under political pressure. I know you lying. I know you lying, and I know that you lied. Let's continue on. A Senate committee voted Thursday to advance the nomination of Dr. Erica Schwartz to lead the nation's top public health agency, moving her one step closer to confirmation despite lingering doubts whether she would resist political inference in her role. A historic nomination moves forward. If confirmed by the full Senate, Schwartz 54 will become the 22nd director of the Atlanta-based Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The agency will be responsible for protecting Americans from preventable health threats. Child. But the biggest threat to health is in the White House and his administration running the country, and his supporters, which now all of a sudden they want to get off the bandwagon because they see the hell everybody tried to tell them about. Oh no. Y'all got that for life. If you've been cut off from family members, friends, if your kids have cut you off, if you've lost your job, you deserve it. You deserve it, and you deserve it. Now, your husband, your wife, your kids, we pray for them. We love them. We want them to be well. You can take yourself out to the pasture, and we'll just wait for you to pass away in the field socially, of course. Oh, you got to be quicker than that. I mean, my God, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Let's see here. The agency responsible for protecting Americans from preventable health threats. Her background includes both medical and law degrees, along with previous experience as a deputy surgeon general and in a leadership role with the U.S. Coast Guard. The nomination appeared uncertain after Schwartz's hearing before the Senate, the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee earlier this month, when lawyers pressed her on whether she pushed back if Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. directed the CDC to take actions not grounded in scientific evidence. Well, maybe if, we had a competent president, a competent administration, then maybe we wouldn't have to worry about would there be any heaviness in terms of trying to push back on somebody. And y'all, like, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. did Coca-Cola on a toilet. I'm using Coca-Cola in quotes, but you can follow the bouncing ball on that. It's just like, bruh. Come on now. I mean, no damn sense. Committee Chairman Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, whose backing was essential for the nomination to advance later, said he had grown confident in Schwartz's judgment after speaking with her and others familiar with her work. The committee ultimately approved her nomination in a vote that broke largely along party lines. Oh, wow. So black people can be qualified. But yet y'all gave Obama hell. Okay, interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Yes. Not every senator was convinced. Rather, opposition came from several lawmakers, including Senator Bernie Sanders, the independent from Vermont, who argued the central question was whether the administration would include officials willing to challenge anti-science viewpoints and conspiracy theories rather than accommodate them. Here's the thing, right? It's not like opposition was not going to happen. I think Bernie Sanders has been for the people. And I think the reason why that question was asked is because, we know that Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. got rid of all the CBC people and appointed people that would agree with him. So I think that question is very fair. But at this point, I think Erica Schwartz would be a better president than the president that we have right now. An agency already in turmoil, the CDC has faced significant upheaval since the current administration returned to office last year. The agency has lost more than 3,000 employees, over a quarter of its workforce. Layoffs and resignations, a rotating cast of mostly temporary leaders has further eroded morale, while political appointees with limited medical or public health training have taken on front office roles. When Schwartz was first nominated in April, public health experts responded with cautious optimism, pointing to her credentials and know that she was selected by the president rather than by Kennedy, who was a prominent vaccine skeptic before overseeing federal health agencies. Kennedy had pledged not to alter the nation's vaccination schedule, though he later pursued a substantial revision of childhood vaccine guidance, portions of which were blocked this year by a federal judge. There was a black waste of life that basically talked about, how children in Florida don't have to take measles. It was just proud of it. I'm just like, so y'all think that, getting a shot that can save your life can lead to other things. Now, of course, there are medical properties that may not respond to your body. That's a given. But just kids deserve to be protected. I don't get to people. I just really don't. I just really don't. I just don't get it. Give me a moment, y'all. Okay. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. Sharp questions at her hearing. During her hearing, Schwartz committed to never compromising scientific integrity, but stopped short of criticizing specific actions Kennedy has taken. The 5 National Public Health Coalition, a group representing former and current CDC staff, said her answers lacked the clarity to reassure the public and call for any commitments on issues including vaccine policy and conflicts of interest. Schwartz also said she was unaware that CDC programs addressing smoking prevention and vaccination promotion had been scaled back. She declined to comment to removing a CDC page suggesting a link between childhood vaccines and autism, saying she has not reviewed it. She acknowledged that existing research has not been established. Has not established such a connection. Cassie noted last week that health officials have since revised the page, but the department continued to dispute that the statement vaccines do not cause autism is fully evidence-based despite extensive research showing no connection. Mixed reactions from public health leaders. Dr. Georges Benjamin of the American Public Health Association says Schwartz appeared to be navigating competing political pressures under her testimony round. Though he disagreed with several of her responses, he continued to back her nomination, citing her qualifications and potential to rebuild CDC's leadership structure. Dr. Daniel Jerrigan, a former senior CDC official, warned that rejecting her nomination would lead the agency in one direction for even longer. A history of turbulent nominations. Schwartz is the third person nominated for the role in 18 months. The first nominee, former Congressman Dr. David Weldon, saw his hearing canceled at the last minute in March 2025 due to insufficient Senate support. The administration then turned to Susan Martinez, who was confirmed but removed in a month over disagreements with the administration's agenda. The same health committee also advanced the nomination of Senator Sean Kaufman for a separate health preparedness role Thursday, despite his history of comments questioning starting vaccines and a vote that also fell on party lines.
Public health is in my DNA. I'm here because I want to continue serving our nation and because I believe deeply in the mission of the CDC. If confirmed, my first priority will be restoring trust in public health institutions through radical transparency and unwavering scientific integrity. As CDC director, my sacred responsibility is to provide the American people with public health guidance that is clear, honest, and evidence-based. I will never betray the science.
Listen, that was more clear than the president has never been clear, okay? So listen, I'm pulling for this woman, but also too, I just have a feeling that something is going to go down and 47 is going to blame this black woman. I just have a feeling about it. I have a feeling that the administration is going to try to poke this woman, try to, stab this woman socially and allow her to bleed, in a fashion of, hey, it was on her, it wasn't on us. And they will do outrageous overshadowing, and this woman's career can be destroyed because we have an incompetent president, incompetent administration, and incompetent human beings who support all of this ish. Okay, all right, moving on. Yes, indeed. Let's go to blacknews.com. Here we go. Black journalist wins $2.4 million in racial discrimination case against TV station right here. So this beautiful sister right here, loving the face guard, loving the hair and everything. Ojinika Obiekwe, a former Pix 11 reporter, received a $2.4 million award after a federal jury ruled that the station and its parent company, Mixed Media Group, retaliated against her after she raised concerns about racial discrimination. The jury awarded Obiekwe about $1.14 million in compensatory damages and $1.28 million punitive damages following her lawsuit against the New York television station, according to People. Obiekwe spent 22 years working at Pix 11, beginning her career as an intern before becoming the station's entertainment anchor and reporter. She claimed that as her role expanded, she was given the workload of multiple employees while receiving less support compensation than some of her white male colleagues. So it's not just happening in retail, it's also happening in media as well. My God, today. My God, today. Oh, my Lord. Let's keep going here. The journalist says she repeatedly reported her concerns to company leaders, human resources. She claimed Pix 11 promised to address the issues, but did not make meaningful changes. OBK also accused the station of retaliating against her after she continued speaking out about the discrimination she experienced. Her lawsuit states that a news director told her to stop discussing the issue because it was making others uncomfortable. So, by saying that I'm supposed to be an entertainment news reporter and anchor, why am I doing editing, this, that, and the third? And basically saying, hello, I think that at the beginning, middle, end of the day, I don't think I should be doing all this, and advocating because her culture, her mindset, and how she moves matters. But if it was a white person, it would be flipped, right? Okay. All right. Pix 11 fired OBK in January 2023. The station initially said she was terminated for failing to perform her duties and being insubordinate, but her lawsuit claimed the company later changed the explanation and decided not to renew her contract. On the verdict, OBK thanked jurors who reviewed the case and said she hoped that the outcome will encourage others to speak up about unfair treatment. Her attorneys, Eric Abrams and Andrew G. Sell Jr., said the decision showed that OBK's claims were taken seriously after years of alleged retaliation. They said the verdict helped restore her reputation following her termination. Next, started declined to comment on the ruling. Pix 11 did not immediately respond to requests for a statement. And of course they did. Because at the beginning, middle, end of the day, the jury said that y'all were wrong. So y'all stumped the yard, this, that, and the third, everything in between. And congratulations, you played yourself. And this is why I can't get right. So it's cool for anybody else to advocate for themselves so they don't look like this. But when we do, it's a problem. Right? And like I said, on my job, I experienced the same thing. Not so much racial discrimination, although I do believe that can be a factor. You know what I mean? It's 2026, and like I said before, societal slavery is the workplace now. It's changed from the conflict to the workplace. So I do believe that definitely is a factor. However, in the same token of that, they are putting multiple jobs on one person, and they're expecting them to do all the jobs. And when they complain about it, then, oh my God, you're making everybody feel uncomfortable with you complaining. No, it's called being human, standing up for yourself and not taking shit from nobody. Hell wrong with you. I just can't do it. I can't do it. So let's continue on, everybody. From People Magazine, people.com, Oprah Winfrey says she's ending her South Africa Girls Academy to reach more young women with scholarships. The dream was never simply to build a school, rather it was to invest in the limitless potential of young women, said Winfrey. The academy will transition back to the community as she focuses on helping more young women. Right here, the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy of Girls in South Africa will be closing after 2027 and transitioning its operations back to local officials. Winfrey will instead focus on an expanded scholarship program for girls there. Overall, there will be double the amount of girls who will have access to education through this model, a rep from Winfrey says. The South Africa school that Oprah Winfrey opened nearly 2 decades ago will be closing, transitioning its operations back to local officials, while Winfrey focuses on an expanded scholarship program for girls there. She announced this week the dream was never simply to build a school. It was to invest in the limitless potential of young women. Winfrey 72 said a statement on Wednesday, July 29th, announcing that the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy of Girls will end operations in its current form at the end of 2027. From there, the provincial government will take over and continue operating the facility as a school. A rep for Winfrey tells People. The academy will graduate 2 more classes of girls in the remaining Students will go to other top tier schools with their tuition paid for in total by Ms. Winfrey through their graduation, the rep says. In her statement, Winfrey says that her mission does not end with one campus. It continues, and every girl whose future can be transformed through education. I'm excited that this next chapter will allow us to reach even more young women across South Africa and continue the promise that began more than 20 years ago. She continued. Scholarship program will begin after the academy students have graduated, according to Winfrey's rep, saying that overall there will be double the amount of girls who will have access to education through this model. That's the core of the decision to shift to this new model after seeing the success of these students in the past 20 years. The rep says more than 1,000 girls have graduated from Winfrey's Academy since it opened in 2007. After Winfrey called a devastating early controversy with a former staff member and later acquitted of abuse, the school went on over the years to educate women from disadvantaged communities across South Africa, according to a news release shared by the Academy. The mogul herself invested hundreds of millions of dollars. According to a study cited in a news release, almost all the graduates surveyed said they went on to pursue higher education and reported that their education positively transformed their families. This school is my greatest legacy, Winfrey told People in 2019. These girls are my deepest, greatest joy. First of all, congratulations to Oprah Winfrey and everything that she has done, right? And sincerely, I think that the beginning, middle, end of the day, as long as the access, right, and the availability of this resource is happening, I don't think we should be upset about this. I think that, schools, they change hands all the time. Sometimes schools have shut down due to lack of funding. If you don't know, Black schools are more underfunded than traditional, predominantly white institutions, right? In addition to that, I know what people are saying of Oprah Winfrey should open up a school in the United States. And you know what? I agree. I definitely agree. I think that if that model worked so well there, I think that Oprah should do that in the United States. I mean, LeBron James did that with his I Promise School in Akron, Ohio. And, I keep joking that eventually it's going to be I Promise University or Spring Hill University. I really, really do. Or 330 University or something to that degree, that LeBron James is going to basically buy Akron University and elevate all of the buildings up, elevate all the equipment up, elevate all the professors up. And I'm not saying he's going to make it an HBCU, but I do believe that he's going to stump the yard with Akron. I really do. And by the way, if you do go to, speaking of universities, if you go to Kent State University this year till November, I think 27th or something like that, Kent State will pay you $1,000 if you enroll to their college, right? And they're also waiving the $50 application fee. I do think that at the beginning, middle, end of the day, I think that it is, I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's very, very good that Kent State and other universities are recognizing, hey, we can be solutions, right? If FAFSA is shaky right now and, enrollment is shaky because people don't feel like they can belong here, what can we do? And I will always give credit to that. Always, 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 always. Like I said, TRIO is still around, thank God. TRIO, Upward Bound, and the Robert McNair programs are still around. The Robert McNair program is basically a Black and minority program where you can get a master's degree for free. Absolutely free. You can get your master's degree for free. You can get your master's degree for free. You get your master's degree for free. Okay. And that's a huge deal. Upward Bound allows you to be able to, get your credits while you're in high school. Trio, which I was so blessed to be a part of. They help you with tutoring, study skills, tutoring, even financial aid, cultural trips, bunch of great stuff. If you are a first generation student, if you are a minority, or if you have a disability, please, please, please sign up for Trio. It is one of the greatest resources in the world of education. And that's one of my big commitments in my media empire, is to always make sure that we can help Trio programs in any way. Then that's what we're supposed to do. Sorry, y'all. All right, there we go, y'all. Yes, indeed, there. So congratulations to Oprah Winfrey and all those girls, and hopefully Oprah will expand her talents here in the United States of America. And also, too, for those of you who don't know, Oprah created a scholarship, right, at Morehouse College. So just want to say. Sorry, I'm looking at it. Okay, y'all, let's keep going here. So some good news here, just to show y'all this commercial here, because this is going to relate to this next destination. Yeah, let me bring it up. You all roll it. I wanted y'all to have that break for a minute because I know that at the beginning, middle, end of the day, you know, whenever we talk about, you know, sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. So here we go with this here from the Spirits Business. Beyonce takes ownership of Sir Davis whiskey. Yes, indeed. Grammy Award-winning singer Beyonce has taken sole ownership of Sir Davis American whiskey. Let me see, because I know she's supposed to have a visitor center in Texas. Visitor center. I know it's supposed to be open soon. They've been doing a lot of pop-ups. Yeah, okay. So here it is here. I'll just show you the frequently asked questions. All right, my bad, y'all. So let's keep going. Sorry, y'all. I'm checking in on something. I'm just checking in on something. Sorry, y'all. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. Yes. Sometimes we gotta regulate. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, so here it is. Here, y'all. Let me show y'all. Where is it? Oh, right here. Right here. Now they said that there's supposed to be a Sir Davis distillery and can consume. The question is rather, is there a Sir Davis distillery and can consumers visit? The Sir Davis brand home is in Texas and set to open to visitors in 2025. I gotta look up something. Monologue dialogue.
A monologue is a long speech by one person.
Okay, thank you very much, Google. I know what it is. Thank you. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's get back to this, y'all. Sorry, I'm active story that I'm paying attention to here. Okay, Grammy Award-winning singer Beyonce has taken sole ownership of Sir Davis Whiskey, the brand she founded in partnership with Monet Hennessy. Beyonce, full name Beyonce Knowles Carter, released Sir Davis Whiskey alongside Monet Hennessy, the wine and spirits arm of LVMH in 2024. The brand was named after the crazy after the Crazy in Love singer's paternal great-grandfather, who was a farmer and moonshiner in the American South during Prohibition. Dr. Bill Lumsden, director of whiskey creation at Glenmorangie and Alderburgh, both owned by Moet Hennessy, designed the liquid for Sir Davis alongside head blender for the brand Cameron George and Beyonce herself. Bottled at 44% ABV, Sir Davis is made from a mash bill of 51% rye, 49% malted barley. It retails RRP $89 and euros $79 in the UK. Financial details regarding Beyonce's takeover of the brand have not been disclosed. Spirit Business has contacted Moet Hennessy for a statement. Sir Davis whiskey was Moet Hennessy's first spirit brand made from scratch in the United States. The whiskey is crafted by third-party spirits producer MPG Ingredients, finished, blended, and bottled in Texas, where the singer is from. So it's finished, blended, and bottled in Texas, but there's no visitor center. Okay. So, like I said, congratulations to Beyonce. I think that this is wonderful, 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 wonderful news. And let me just do this real quick. Just do this. I'm gonna go with ChatGPT. Give me a list of Black-owned whiskeys in the United States. All right, as that's being made, because I want you guys to be able to see that we've always been out here, right? And this is why being able to have a platform is so important, right? So let me just show y'all this here. Okay. Okay. All right, so let me show y'all this here from ChatGPT. All right, the list has been finally made here. Here are some of the best known Black-owned whiskey brands and distilleries in the United States, range from bourbon and rye to Tennessee whiskey and Scotch-inspired offerings. Uncle Nearest, founded by Fawn Weaver, Tennessee whiskey and bourbon-style American whiskey, home state Tennessee. By the way, Fawn Weaver and her husband are out of Uncle Nearest. Okay, they are out of Uncle Nearest. They are out of Uncle Nearest, and there is a Black-owned equity firm that is the new owners. They said it was going to be 45 days. It was going to be 45 days until that we know who the owner is. There we go. You know what's really amazing, y'all, that I am so grateful for? That people really can see. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Okay, Sorry, y'all. Let's keep going here. So Brothers Bourbon, Victor Bryson, Christian Yarber, Bourbon, Kentucky, Greenwood whiskey. And Greenwood was a whole neighborhood, right, in Oklahoma. So American Whiskey Oklahoma, Duke and Dame, Sherry Shepherd and Partners. I didn't know Sherry Shepherd was a part of that. Flavor Whiskey Maryland, Aboa Whiskey, Aboa Founders, American Whiskey New York, Frisky Whiskey, Nicole Young, American Whiskey Texas, York Scotch, veteran-owned Founders, Scotch Whiskey, U.S. brand, 18th Street Distillery, Drew Fox Bourbon in Rye, Indiana, Arthur Wheeler Spirits, Arthur Wheeler Founders, Bourbon and Whiskey Maryland, Shadow Ridge Spirits, Sean Hellman, American Whiskey California. And that's just a list of some. You know what I mean? So with that said, sorry, y'all. I know it seems like I'm here, I'm not here. Like I said, I'm trying to keep up with the story here that's happening in the background at the same time. But I wanted to show y'all this because we don't know what we don't know, right? And if I pull up Black People and Whiskey Making, HISTORY. So I want y'all to see this right here, okay? Black individuals shaped American whiskey history through vital labor, foundational distilling techniques, and master craftsmanship, led by figures like Uncle Nathan Nearest Green, who was the first African-American distiller on record. There's a whiskey called Edmund's Honor that a black man figured out a way, the vanilla bean extract that we are able to buy in grocery stores. Edmund figured out how to do the process. We have been here the whole time, making it do what it do in the world, the U.S., and everywhere in between, right? But let's keep going here. Let's keep going. The enslaved foundations of Southern whiskey and modern black-owned brands. The enslaved foundations of Southern whiskey, hard labor expertise. Enslaved black men and women did the heavy, dangerous physical work in the 18th and 19th century Southern distilleries, handling grain, tending fires, and managing wood. Charcoal filtering. Enslaved laborers brought generational West African knowledge of using sugar maple charcoal to filter and smooth out harsh spirits. The real creators' credit for early American whiskey recipes and techniques was often given credit to white preachers and landowners, while actual creation relied on enslaved experts. Nearest Green and Jack Daniel, first master distiller Nathan Nearest Green, an enslaved man in Tennessee, perfected the sugar maple charcoal filtering method known as the Lincoln County process that defines whiskey. Teaching Jack Daniel after emancipation, Green was hired as the first black master distillery. Yeah, the first black master at the distillery, and personally taught and mentored the young Jack Daniel. So think about that. Every time you're drinking Jack Daniels, right, you are also drinking the history of Nathan Nearest Green. And think about how deep that is, right? Think about how deep that is. That in the 1800s, while slavery was going on, we had the first African-American distiller on record, right? So it's important that we know our history. And I know what y'all gonna say. Braylon, we are so tired of hearing about what we are, what we can't be, what we won't be, this, that, and third. Well, here's the thing, right? This really grinds my gears. So I want to talk to y'all for a minute. If we can't stand, right? If we can't stand the history that has hurt us, and we're asking, where's the positive? And if people are producing positive, are y'all listening to the positive too? Because some of y'all will run to anything negative first before positive. That's society. The negative has more heat than positivity. I get it. Listen, that's why I do the show the way that I do. I cover everything, right? We talked about a black female being the first ever black female CDC director, right? We talked about a woman who got $2.4 million from the station she worked at since she was an intern and one for discrimination. We talked about Oprah Winfrey continuing to give girls in South Africa full ride scholarships. We just got done talking about Beyonce having full ownership of like I said, Beyonce now has full ownership of that. And you know what? I just thought about something. Maybe, just maybe, right? Like I said, it's finished. It's this, that, and the third in Texas. But maybe the reason why the visitor center is not open yet is because maybe Moet Hennessy wanted 50% of the profits. Now, that's just speculation. That's just speculation. That is just speculation, right? But that could be a possibility of why maybe she wanted to be able to have full ownership. But either way, the fact that Moet Hennessy respected Beyonce is huge, right? So hopefully this will open doors for other people in the spirits industry. And also too, don't attack somebody going down a path towards a blessing or blessings because you don't know how that path could bless you later on down the line. Don't attack somebody trying to go down a path towards blessings or blessings because you don't know how that path will bless you down the line. Don't attack somebody on the path to a blessing or blessings because you don't know if that path will bless you later on down the line, right? And so many times we bite the hand that could feed us just because we're not understanding the process. Clock that now. Listen, clock that too. All right, let's keep going, y'all. We do have more Bernie's Virtual Tour Live coming up right from the space right here and right now. Let me show you this. From Variety.com, Disney is expected to sell 50% stake in A&E to Hearst for more than $1 billion. Disney is getting ready to shed its ownership stake. A&E Global Media, the cable-focused program it has owned jointly with Hearst for more than a decade. Disney will sell its 50% stake in A&E Global Media, formerly known as A&E Networks, to Hearst, and a transaction valued over $1 billion. A source familiar with the plans confirmed the sale is giving Hearst 100% control over A&E going forward. It's expected to be finalized next week after and announced in conjunction with Disney's quarterly earnings on August 5th. My God. Idiots. Representatives for Hearst, Disney, and A&E did not immediately respond to requests for comment. In a blog post Thursday, Lightshare Partners analyst Rich Greenfield in a preview of Disney earnings wrote, "We believe Disney will announce to sell its 50% stake in A&E Networks to its joint venture partner Hearst in an all-cash transaction at a low single-digit EBITDA multiple." Disney, in its 10-quarter filing with the Security Exchange Commission for the March 2026 quarter, said its investment in A&E had carrying value of approximately $2 billion in accounting. Carrying value is the original cost of an asset minus accumulated depreciation or amortization per investmentpedia. During the quarter, the media company took a $147 million charge for an impairment of its investment in A&E Global Media. Disney has been looking to sell its stake of A&E for at least a year now. To give you context, conjecture, and connection on what's going on, right? As you guys know, NBC, right? They spun off their cable networks into a separate company called Hearst, right? I was have NBC News, the Today Show on that news, right? Bravo is still with NBC Universal, right? And now recently, Comcast is separating themselves from NBC Universal, which is absolutely huge, right? And the reason why it's huge is because Comcast thought, well, if we can get, more of the cable channels and have ownership of NBC, then hopefully their brand will help people get cable subscriptions, right? That was their thinking. Then you have Warner Bros. Discovery and their sale too, right? Okay. Yes, I'm giving you this context, conjecture, and connection because it's going to lead back to Disney, right? Okay, so like I was saying, right? You have Warner Bros. Discovery, right? Now, they were selling, right, the studios and streamers. That was one side. The other side was the cable networks. Now, Netflix was trying to buy the studios and the streamers from Warner Bros. Discovery to boost up themselves as a company and their content library. The networks were going to be spun off into a separate company called Discovery Global until Paramount Skydance graped Warner Brothers Discovery to get that company at Paramount so Paramount can look like there's something important when really they're struggling, doubling, smuggling. And now that merger has been put on pause until wait a minute, I'm frozen. I'm about to come back. There we go. That merger has been put on pause until June, I was about to say March, but June 1st of 2027. Did I mention there's a $7.7 million ticket fee every day that the merger does not close? And then the $7 billion breakup fee, which means Warner Bros. Discovery can make a lot of money out of this. Now, how does this relate back to Disney, right? Because Bob Iger said to Dave Farber on CNBC, while our competition is leaving the cable business, we're actually staying in the business. But then weeks later, after that interview, Disney said they're exploring a sale of A&E Global Media. Okay. All right, so let's keep going. After Disney exits the joint venture, A&E Global Media President and Chairman Paul Baricki will continue to run the company, according to Hearst CEO Steve Schwartz. A&E's cable networks include A&E Network, Lifetime History, Lifetime Movie Network, FYI, and Vice TV. And its assets also encompasses content units, A&E Studios, A&E Factual Studio, A&E Indie Films, A&E Global Media Digital, as well as streaming apps, including subscription video services, including Lifetime Movie Club, Crime 360, and History Vault. In 2009, A&E Television Networks, then a partnership among Disney, ABC Television Group, Hearst Media, and NBC Universal acquired Lifetime Services in 2012. NBC Universal sold its 15.8% stake in A&E Networks to Disney and Hearst. Now, I just want to see something real quick. Give me a moment. Give me one moment, because I just want to see something. I just want to see something, y'all, real quick here. Give me a moment. Sorry, y'all. Usual, because they need EISTLIV distribution for their content. Okay, so y'all give me a moment because I just want to see something. Like I said, my theory, right, could be off about this, but this is why we get information here. Here we go. So I asked, with the information from this article, does that mean content from A&E Global Media will go away from the Hulu streaming platform and the Disney Plus platform, or if Hearst keeps their agreement for A&E Global Media content to still be on Disney Plus, and I'm going to say Hulu, is it still just business as usual because they need distribution for their content? The short answer is no, not necessarily. Based on reporting from Variety, Disney is selling its 50% ownership stake in A&E Global Media to Hearst, making Hearst the sole owner of A&E History, Lifetime, FYI, and A&E Studios. The article discusses an ownership change, not a distribution change. Here's what that means. Here's what that likely means. Scenario one: Hearst keeps the existing licensing agreement. Most likely, if Hearst and Disney negotiate or continue a licensing agreement, history programming could remain on Disney Plus and Hulu, where it's already licensed. Lifetime A&E content will continue appearing on those services. Disney would simply become a customer licensee instead of a co-owner. This is very common in the media industry. For example, Netflix licensed shows from companies it doesn't own. Disney Plus licensed content from outside studios. Hulu carries programs from many companies that Disney doesn't own. In that case, it's largely business as usual because Hearst still benefits from Disney's enormous subscriber base, and Disney benefits from carrying popular programming. Scenario 2, Hearst changes its distribution strategy because Hearst will own 100% of A&E Global Media. It could eventually decide to renew Disney's licenses, negotiate higher licensing fees, make some of their programming exclusive elsewhere, launch or expand its own direct-to-consumer offerings, license shows to multiple streaming services. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Whew. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. If that happens, some A&E content could eventually leave Hulu or Disney Plus, but there has been no announcement that this will happen. While Disney might still want A&E content, even after selling its ownership, Disney still wants strong programming on the streaming platforms. History documentaries, true crime, unscripted series, and Lifetime movies help keep subscribers engaged, broaden the content library, attract audiences outside Disney's traditional franchises. So could Disney absolutely continue to pay to? So Disney could absolutely continue to pay to license A&E content if it makes financial sense. While Hearst would likely keep Disney as a partner, from Hearst's perspective, Disney Plus and Hulu represents tens of millions of potential viewers. Licensing content to Disney would generate recurring revenue, increase audience reach, promote A&E brands, reduce reliance on traditional cable. That's why many analysts expect distribution agreements to continue even after ownership changes, unless Hearst sees greater value. Elsewhere, my expectation, nothing in the variety report suggests that A&E program will be removed off of Hulu or Disney. The sale changes who owns A&E Global Media, not automatically where its content streams, unless Hearst announces a new distribution strategy or Disney chooses not to renew licensing deals. Viewers may not know as much difference at all. In other words, ownership changes from 50-50 Disney Hearst to 100% Hearst. Distribution can remain exactly the same. Both companies agree on licensing. Consumer impact probably minimal in the near term unless either company announces new streaming plans. And I wanted to bring that up to you all because the greater the ownership, the greater the control of content. The greater the ownership, the greater control of content. The greater the ownership, the greater control of content, right? So because Disney is selling their stake, that means Hearst has full control. That means they can do whatever they want to do, right? And Josh D'Amaro, right? He's aggressively pushing for this one Disney thing, right? Where Disney Plus won't just be a streaming service. It'll be WaltDisneyWorld.com, it'll be Disneyland.com, it'll be ABC.com, it'll be every Disney website. You just go to DisneyPlus.com for everything, right? And that is, in the words of many people, you cut your own nose off to spite your face, right? Because what you're doing essentially, and let me come on the big screen and explain this. What Josh D'Amaro is doing by getting rid of Hulu entirely, he's getting rid of an adult streaming platform that Disney desperately needs. Disney is trying to make Disney Plus be like Netflix. That's not the purpose of Disney Plus. Disney Plus is supposed to be for kids and family content. Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic, right? That's that. Hulu is their adult content. ESPN is their sports content, right? And so, with that said, you're essentially killing the Disney bundle. That has been a great baseline for you all to make money by doing this, right? Oh my God. And my thing is this is 2026. You mean to tell me that Disney ain't got the money to make Hulu go international? Seriously. It's just so asinine to me that they believe this strategy is going to work, because now you're kicking off a very loyal Hulu subscriber base that has been paying their money consistently just to get Disney Plus to be bigger. It's just like how y'all killed the ABC app unnecessarily because you want people to go to Disney Plus. And if I pull up my phone right now, which I'm going to do, and I type the NBC app, I bet you it's going to show up. Give me a moment, because this is just ridiculous. This is why I get into Disney's ass for being this stupid. The NBC app is still available. NBC app. Stream and watch the Voice Magnum PI transmit all with inside the NBC app. Discover new shows. Stream live TV. Keep up with favorite sports. Watch the latest season. Browse all of our genres. So they are still able to have the NBC app and Peacock at the same time. But Disney got rid of the ABC app because they want to push everybody to Disney Plus. And now with the wave of free television, now Disney is now considering a free tier for Disney Plus, where if y'all dumb fucks would have just kept the ABC app, and if you would have said, hey, listen, Hulu will be a paid platform, but we are going to keep the free tier that we've been doing all the way up to 2016, y'all wouldn't be in this mess. Josh tomorrow is trying to make $1 out of 15 cents because he doesn't know how to balance finances. The fuck wrong with you? You got D23 coming up, which is coming up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days. In 15 days. Really 14 days with the kickoff, you know what I mean? But still, and y'all said this D23 is going to be the biggest one yet. You got the biggest expo floor ever in the history of D23. But you know what's interesting? They have never broadcasted live coverage on Disney Plus, Hulu, or ABC. Now, they've done live coverage on YouTube, but you got a whole broadcast network, right? But here's the gag. They'll send a correspondent from Good Morning America to D23. I'm sorry, why is George, Robin, Michael, Lara, Ginger not all doing GMA live broadcasts from D23? I will be having live from D23, even though they're taped now. They don't air live anymore. They tape their shows weeks in advance, right? So you have Good Morning America live from D23. You have Taped with Kelly and Mark from D23. They'll probably film their show kickoff day and then air it on Friday, which, for the record, Monday through Thursday, they used to be live. Then they would tape Friday show on Thursday. Then they'll air that show from Thursday that they taped on Friday. So that wouldn't be too crazy, but this Taped with Kelly and Mark, not live. I would have that show from D23. I would have Tamron Hall do her show live from D23. Even though it's the summer, she can come back just for a D23 show. I would have The View. They're on summer break, right? Or I think they about to go on summer break in August, because they usually work through most of the year, just like Wendy Williams did back in the day. But I will have The View live from there. I will have ABC World News Tonight be from there. I will have Jimmy Kimmel do Jimmy Kimmel Live from D23 live. That's how you utilize your flywheel to promote your company. But Josh tomorrow's the CEO of Disney. Okay, cool. And yes, me, myself, Florence, and Phil will be breaking down all the announcements from D23. So we will be here for that. Cannot wait for that. That'll be our first D23 together. And just, like I said, I want Disney to win. I do. I remember that day in Mulberry where I said, my sister asked me to be nicer at Disney because she knows the power of my voice and she knows I can showcase the good of Disney. This is why I go so hard. Listen, we have a whole live tonight. Let me show you. Because I know for some people, they're like, oh my God, Braylon, you say you want Disney to be good, this, that, and third, but you keep attacking Disney. Okay, I attack Disney, but I also give solutions too. Like, that's not how I roll. And you know, I know for some people, they're going to be like, well, Bray, if you want to work for Disney, they're not going to hire you. They will, because here's the thing. Everything that I have talked about on this YouTube channel has been public information, right? Public information, right? So they can't really do anything to me. They can try, but let's just say NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, the CW, they want to sue me for my coverage of anything having to deal with them. You know what they're going to say? You know what the judge is going to say? Let's do a discovery on Braylon. Let's see his content. They're going to see, oh, he's talked about this in the past. Oh, he's talked about NBC in the past. Oh, he's talked about CBS in the past. Oh, he's talked about Fox in the past. Oh, he's talked about Next Star Media Group in the past. Okay, he's giving his take, and then it's going to be thrown out. Just like that lawsuit I just talked about with that woman who worked at Pix 11, which is under Next Star Media Group. Next Star can't sue me for talking about that story. Because guess what? They didn't give comment to the story. So how can you sue a content creator for talking about media news about a story that relates to you and it's public information? Now, I can understand if I talked about a story that I wasn't supposed to get any information about, but come on now. And so just to show you, later on tonight, we are going to be doing the Disney Pop Century Resort and Resorts Breakdown Town Hall. I have ideas for most of the hotels for Disney. And when I show you these hotels, I promise you, you're going to want them. I revived all of Las Vegas. Did a fabulous job. I mean, I wanted to go to Vegas after I got done with it. So believe me, for all that I criticize, I also champion too. And that's the thing we have to do better as a people. Oh, sorry, y'all can't see it. Right here. Right here. I'm going to talk about Disney's Pop Century Resort and the resorts tonight at 6 o'clock. For all that I criticize, I also champion. For all that I criticize, I also champion. For all that I criticize, I also champion. If we don't critique what is wrong, then things will stay wrong. I know that sounds redundant, but sometimes you have to break it down for the imbeciles in the back. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. All right, y'all. Let's continue on. We do have more Brain Virtual Live coming up right from the space right here, right now, from Black Enterprise Magazine, blackenterprise.com. Here we go. Bowie State University launches first PhD in nursing education at an HBCU. Bowie State University launches first PhD in nursing education at HBCU. The public university, one more time rather. Bowie State University launches first PhD in nursing education at HBCU. The public university will welcome its inaugural cohort in fall of 2026. One of the nation's first doctoral programs in nursing education at a historically Black college university, HBCU, has just launched at Bowie State University. The public university will welcome its inaugural cohort in fall of 2026, also making it the state of Maryland's first PhD in nursing education, according to Bowie leaders. This marks a pivotal moment for Bowie State University and for nursing education nationwide, because as you know, 47, his administration said that nursing is not a degree program. Now, I would like to suggest that we pull out all of the health professionals in the health department out the White House, and let's see if he can make it to 2028 without medical help. Since he believes that nursing should not be a profession, let's do that to the president. I'm just saying. That's what he said. He said nursing should not be a degree program. So let's do that. Like, this is the thing I don't get, right? So it's cool for him to be able to say what he wants to, but nobody else can say anything. Sound like the white man version of Ticket TV to me, but that's neither here nor there. Let's keep going. By expanding opportunities for advanced nursing scholarship and educator preparation, Bowie State is helping to strengthen the healthcare workforce and improve health outcomes, and improve incomes for people to be able to get quality, affordable, and respectful healthcare for generations to come, says Dr. Barrow said. U.S. nursing schools nearly turned away. And we ask people to go to school to get education. I want to zoom in on this just so y'all can see it. Nearly turned away 93,000 qualified applications. 93,000 qualified applications. 93,000 qualified applications U.S. nursing schools turned away. You know that's 93,000 people that could help Black people stay alive, help people in general stay alive. My God, today. From baccalaureate and graduate nursing programs in 2025, due to an insufficient number of faculty, clinical sites, classroom space, clinical preceptors, and budget constraints, according to the American Association of Colleges of Nursing, with most nursing schools responding to the survey pointing to faculty shortages as a top reason for not accepting all qualified applicants into their nursing programs. Gee, I wonder if getting rid of DEI, make sure that workplaces are fair, had anything to do with that. Because if you're excluding Blacks and minorities from being able to teach and help people, then guess what? It also reduces the resources of that school being around. So if you shrink the resources for the school to stay open, you can close the school and get away with cutting off people's education, which is what I believe the Department of Education is doing. And Linda McMahon, who confused AI for A1 steak sauce, is running. I mean, good job to the rest of America for falling for a dumb piece of shit in his administration. And shout out to all his supporters, because y'all getting the hell that y'all deserve, disrespectfully. And now some of y'all want to come out and say, oh, I'm leaving the movement. No, you can't leave. You can't, you won't, you never will leave. Stop it. You're only doing this now because you are seeing the ramifications of what you caused. No, stay in it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Take that. Take that. Take that. Lay there, roll over, and take it, in the words of Maurice Scott, who said that to his wife, Kimmy, when she was going through cancer. Idiots. According to the American Association of Colleges of Nursing, with most nursing schools responding to the survey, prompting to faculty shortages as a top reason for not accepting qualified applicants into their programs. Related to this, legislation was introduced both in the House and Senate earlier this year, the Nursing Faculty Shortage Reduction Act of 2026, to provide financial support to new and early faculty members, thereby bolstering a number of qualified nursing educators in the field. And Maryland is among a handful of states offering a tax incentive for healthcare workers in shortage areas. Now, if Barack Obama's free community college plan will went into effect, you do know that community colleges do teach nursing, right? But hey, they're the smart ones in Washington, though. And by the way, most of the Republicans are old and white. Y'all needed that community college plan to go through for y'all, because some of y'all closer to the casket to die. Now the cradle start like to becoming something important. The hell wrong with you? Already read all that. Bowie State's doctoral degree prepares experienced nurses for careers in academia, research, and leadership through advanced coursework, original research, dissertation study, individualized mentorship. The university said statement graduates will be prepared to educate future nurses, advance nursing scholarship, and help address increasingly complex healthcare challenges. Bowie State University has a stellar success rate in nursing education. The PhD announcement comes on the heels of other major milestones for Bowie State nursing program. The school's December 2025 Bachelor of Science in Nursing, BSN, the graduating class achieved a 100% first-time pass, come through, rate on the National Council Licensure Examination of Registered Nurses, NCLEXRN, with all 14 graduates passing the exam on their first attempt. These NCLEXRN results placed Bowie State among Maryland's top-performing nursing programs. Last month, the university received more than $2.3 million in competitive state grants to expand nursing education capacity, enhance simulation training, support student success, strengthen faculty development and advanced nursing education research. The university said these investments will help bolster enrollment, improve student outcomes, and strengthen Maryland's nursing workforce pipeline overall. This is truly a transformative achievement, said Dr. Monique Alston, chair of Bowie State's Department of Nursing, noting the launch of this program was a vision that took years to come to fruition. This accomplishment not only elevates our department and university, but also positions us to shape nursing education across Maryland and beyond. Preparing for the next generation of nursing needs both responsibility and privilege. Applications are being accepted for the fall 2026 cohort. Congratulations, first of all. And Married to Medicine, I need y'all to take y'all asses up to Maryland, to Bowie State, and put that on Bravo. Hell. Y'all got power. Y'all got resources. Y'all need to do something about it. What? We can't demand our reality stars to utilize their platform for something important? Married to Medicine is one of the, if not the biggest show on television, where we get to see our people in the healthcare field. Why would they not go to Bowie State University? Come on now. Child, listen, some of y'all priorities are off. But moving on. Also from Black Enterprise Magazine, blackenterprise.com. Here we go. Republican lawmakers push to eliminate the Congressional Black Caucus. Democrats call it racist. Representative Nancy Mace called the CBC and other race-based caucuses federally sanctioned segregation. I know that Nancy Mace is not talking. When in the 1950s, blacks couldn't go to schools. Blacks couldn't even drink out of the same water fountain. Blacks had to go in the back doors of things. And you want to talk about is federally sanctioned segregation? I know your ass ain't talking. Okay. So what's the triple K then? What was all those boys saying Jews will not replace us? And everybody in between on January 6th. Was that not federally sanctioned segregation? For them to be able to get away with what blacks and minorities could never get away with? Let's not be stupid. But once again, Nancy Mace, out of her mother's vagina, was born stupid. Allegedly. Let's keep going, okay? All right. Has introduced a House resolution to eliminate congressional caucuses organized by race or ethnicity, placing the Congressional Black Caucus squarely in the middle of the latest political battle over diversity representation in Washington. And you know the crazy thing? South Carolina does have black people. Give me a moment. Now, I just want to bring this up. Anybody remember Dylan Roof, who deleted 9 members of Emmanuel AME Church? So you mean to tell me you want to get rid of the Congressional Black Caucus, but the state that you represent had a person delete 9 black people? So were you cool with Dylan Roof deleting those 9 black people, Representative Nancy Mace? I'm just asking a question. Yeah, I'm accusing her of being cool with a white person deleting black people. Yep, I'm accusing her of that. And Nancy Mace ain't gonna do shit to me. Just like how Ticket TV is saying these content creators are gonna get to, these content creators channels are gonna go down, this, that, and third. Knowing good to fuck damn well, he is speculating, talking rancid and delusional out of his ass. I'm gonna handle that shit at 8:30 tonight, believe me. But if we don't hold the line and make the line known and question the line, then the line is always going to be crossed. Okay? if we don't hold the line, question the line, and make the line of that this ain't right, then the line's always going to be crossed. If we don't hold the line, question the line, and make the line, then the line is always going to be crossed. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Republican lawmakers turn their attention to congressional caucuses. South Carolina Republicans' proposal would prohibit House caucuses formed around race, ethnicity, and national origin, effectively dismantling organizations including the Congressional Black Caucus, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, and the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus. I want to see some. I just want to see some. Wait a minute. Oh my God, bro. Jesus. Because I'm trying to see something, y'all. Give me a moment. Okay. So it looks like I'm trying to make sure of this, y'all, because you know. So here's the thing, right? It looks like she is not, looks like she doesn't have any like religious ties or anything else. It seems like she's just white, right? But this is the thing I want people to get, right? Just because you are white doesn't mean that you don't have ties to other cultures. Because German, right? Polish, right? White people are a spectrum too. And so the reason why this is dangerous is because if somebody in her family, right, is Jewish, is this, that, and third, if her family is Polish or Irish or what have you, she is also saying that her family lineage doesn't matter. It should not be represented. Right? Her family's culture should not be represented. That's why this is dangerous. That's why I'm asking the questions here. The measure could also affect several Republican-affiliated staffed organizations organized around similar identities. So, as you are going after the caucuses that Democrats have formed around race, there are several Republican-affiliated staffing organizations organized around similar identities. You have got to be that stupid. You have got to be that stupid. You have got to be that stupid. In a statement to Fox News Digital, Mace argued that race-based caucuses are not diversity. They are federally sanctioned segregation. She added, "You do not get to lecture about America about inclusion while running an organization which checks your skin color at the door." Well, I mean, the Triple K is the white supremacist organization. Right. Okay. I'm just saying. These are called facts, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Just keep it in the book. Right? There are other cultures, and let's not even get into essence and Africans going against African Americans. That's a whole thing too, right? But what I'm saying is racism is in every culture, right? As a white woman said on our show here, skin color does not determine character. It is the people, because there are good people and bad people in every race, right? So let's not do this, right? That's like saying I don't see color. So you don't see yourself every day in the mirror? So you don't have no color to you? Okay, child. Democratic leaders call out racism. The proposal was met with swift resistance from Democratic leadership and members of the Congressional Black Caucus, who argued that communities serve as policy-driven coalitions advocating for historically underrepresented communities. In a joint statement, Democratic leaders said the caucuses existed long before Nancy Mace arrived in Congress and will remain long after she fades into irrelevancy. Clock it, because midterms are coming. And if she is out, then what's she gonna do? You can't do nothing by the sidelines. Not being on the sidelines, rather. Nancy Mace rose to infamy for her cheap political stunts, and this is the latest distraction from her failed primary. Yeah, failed primary. Right here. She lost her own primary for South Carolina governor. So even your own state don't like you. Carolina does not like you, nor your city likes you. So stop it. Stop it and stop it. And this is just the latest distraction from her failed primary and complete inability to deliver for her constituents, wrote the coalition Democrats, referring to Mace's unsuccessful run for the South Carolina governor. Members of Congress have every right to organize around shared policy priorities in the constituencies that they serve. There are dozens of bipartisan congressional caucuses dedicated to ethnic communities, geographic regions, industries, veterans, faith, traditions, and countless other interests. Caucuses continue slinging out. The Congressional Tri-Caucus, which represents nearly half of all Americans, is a racist and shameless attempt to silence the voices of minorities. The Congressional Black Caucus has put in work for 55 years. Founded in 1971, the Congressional Black Caucus has historically championed legislation addressing voting rights, economic opportunity, criminal justice reform, healthcare disparities, education, and minority business development. The CBC has been one of Congress's most influential voices on issues affecting Black entrepreneurs, from access to capital, minority-owned businesses, to investments in underserved communities. Critics say any effort to weaken or eliminate the caucuses raises broader questions about who advocates for policies designed to close racial wealth gaps and expand economic opportunity. And I fully agree with that, right? A white person really cannot advocate for Black people. I know what y'all always say, well, what about Rachel Dolezal? Child, that was a whole different case. Okay. And like I said, it's not that all white people can't advocate, but there's a difference between being of a culture and being in a culture. Being of a culture means you around it. Being in the culture is, hey, you know how The Rock does? That's the difference, okay? Black people are willing to listen to a black representative before a white representative. An Italian will listen to another Italian before anybody else. A Latino will listen to a Latino before anybody else. So that's facts, because the issues that impact black people are different than Latino people. The issues that affect Latino people is different than what affects Asians, right? So getting rid of that only hurts your constituents. Because here's the thing, when you're taking out diversity, equity, inclusion, equity, belonging, all that stuff, you are hurting the foundation that people have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's in the Constitution. But as Walter said, you know, it's not like they're respecting a piece of paper. Walter, Jeff Dunham's Walter, right? So if those people can't have peace to know that they're citizen and that they can make decent money, they can live a decent life and get back to community, guess what? You cutting them off also cuts South Carolina's economy. Because it's not just white people that live in South Carolina. Hello. Black people are all over. If you took out all the minorities and it was just white in the United States, it would not be enough to make the U.S. economy work. That's facts. And really, the black dollar is worth $1 trillion. So we have the biggest dollar. But Representative Nancy Mace wouldn't know about that. So, moving on. Speaking of black people, let's get to this story right here. Let's get to this destination. Now, I don't know why they did this, so I'm going to have to do this. So give me a moment, y'all. And they need to update this because they got her whole head cut off. Y'all see it here in a minute. Y'all will see it here in a minute. So I'm just going to show y'all who this sister is real quick. Okay, so here she is here. This is Angela L. Whaley, right? First of all, beautiful face card. I mean, hello. Like, hello. That's the face card right there. And then look at that family. Oh, I love black people. They're a good-looking family, man. There she is there. It's her there. And then that's her beautiful family. Look at that right there. Beautiful. I'm loving it. And here she is here. So this is the whole picture. Now, I'm showing you this because... Is it a video? Oh, it is a video. Okay. Okay. So here it is here. So this is her picture. Beautiful. I'm showing you this because when I go to this here, literally they cut off her head. Bruh, y'all can't fit the frame. So Angela Whaley is building a luxury brand in an uncertain economy. Here's how the founder of lingerie line, Belle Etaire, opens up about what luxury consumers want. Angela Whaley might have been destined to start a luxury brand. She has a lifelong appreciation for luxurious fabrics like lace and silk, which started with her mother's long side robes, which she would still to serve as her wardrobe during playtime. In 2020, she launched Belle Etaire, which translates to beautiful being, a lingerie and intimate apparel brand that offers bodysuits, robes, sleepwear, and more. Having survived its first 5 years, the company is now focused on expanding its product collection, collaborating with fashion creators and influencers, and becoming a recognizable name within the luxury intimate apparel industry. Belle Attire was created to remind women that confidence begins from within. Well, he said in a statement, luxury is reserved for special occasions. It should be a part of how women feel every single day. I wanted to create pieces that make women feel beautiful, empowered, and unapologetically feminine. Whaley shared with Black Enterprise exclusively what she's learned as an entrepreneur in the luxury market. What was it like launching a luxury brand during the pandemic and now growing it in a time of economic uncertainty? Launching Belle Attire during the pandemic was both one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences of my career. At a time when the world felt uncertain, people were spending more time at home and redefining what self-care meant to them. I realized that luxury wasn't just about going out or making a statement. It was about how you felt when you looked in the mirror. Today, we're navigating a different kind of uncertainty with the economy, but I have found that the core of our brand remains the same. Women are becoming more intentional with their purchases. They aren't necessarily buying more, they're buying better. That has reinforced our commitment to create timeless pieces that women will reach for again and again instead of chasing fast fashion or fleeting trends. What has that experience taught you about business? It's taught me that adaptability is one of the greatest assets an entrepreneur can have. Markets change, consumer habits evolve, and unexpected challenges are inevitable. Rather than resisting change, I've learned to listen closely to our customers and let their needs guide our decisions. It's also reminded me how that strong brands are built on trust, not trends. If you consistently build quality, authenticity, and exceptional customer experience, people remember that. Relationships ultimately outlast marketing campaigns. How have you been able to communicate to customers that luxury is worth spending on? For me, luxury has never been about logo or price tag. It's about craftsmanship, confidence, and longevity. I want our customers to feel that every detail, from the fit and the fabrics to the packaging and overall experience reflects genuine care. When a woman invests in something beautifully made that fits well and makes her feel confident, she's invested in herself. We also encourage thoughtful purchasing. Instead of buying multiple pieces that won't last, invest in a few timeless essentials that you'll love wearing for years. That's a more meaningful, often economical approach to luxury. Aside from the quality of the product itself, what would you say consumers expect from a luxury brand? Today's luxury customer expects authenticity above all else. They want to know the story behind the brand, understand its values, and feel a genuine connection with the people creating the products. They also expect consistency. Every interaction, from browsing a website to opening a package to receiving customer service, should feel intentional and elevated. Perhaps most importantly, consumers want to feel seen. Luxury is becoming more inclusive, and customers expect brands to create products and experiences that celebrate women of different backgrounds, body types, and stages of life. What insights can you share about the luxury market for aspiring entrepreneurs who want to be in the space? My biggest advice is never to confuse luxury with high prices. Luxury is about creating value that people feel. Pay attention to every detail, because your customers certainly will. Invest in quality, not quantity. Quality, not quantity. Quality, not quantity. Quality. Create a memorable customer experience. Stay consistent. It does that sometimes on this side. It'll jump to it'll jump back up to the top. Stay consistent with your brand identity in the luxury space. Reputation is one of your greatest assets. It's built over time through consistency. You see? Told you. Through consistency. Most importantly, build a brand with purpose. Consumers today are incredibly thoughtful. They want to support founders who have clear vision, authentic values, and a meaningful reason for creating what they do. If your mission is genuine and your products reflect that mission, you're creating something that resonates far beyond a single purchase. Well, sister, listen. You got my support. Listen. And God bless your husband, because he's a blessed man. But sincerely, though, this is beautiful. And, I never really thought about luxury in that way. Lexus, right? They would do the Uptown Hollywood honors thing every year. And, Black people save Cadillac. I don't know if y'all know that. Shout out to white boy George, who he can always come to cookout. He's always being good people to us. And that's the thing we got to recognize. That luxury is a elevation of being able to appreciate yourself in the highest degree, right? And the fact that, white people got all these brands of luxury, Black people should be able to experience luxury too. And this is the thing. we ask for more, but yet we attack the process of how more is being created. We're the only culture that asks for more, but then we attack the process of how more is being created. We're the only culture that asks for more, but then attack the process of how that more is being made. So let's see the website here. Ooh, child. Y'all saw that lingerie? Ooh. Child. There's nothing like a fine black woman in the morning. Jesus. Woo. Amen. Praise him. Hallelujah. All you saw that, right? All the hips and everything. Yeah, we like that around here. Amen. Praise him. Hallelujah. So we are going to go through the website. Because y'all know how we do, how we roll, how we get down. When we promote black business, we show everything. So we got Lacey for $75 there. I'll say less. Lacey dress. So Lacey is $75. Lacey dress is $89 here. Miss Pretty is $60. Heartthrob, $60. Sleep shirts, sleepwear. I believe that this is the founder. Good Lord. Ooh, Lord. If I'm the husband, I just go to the website just to see it. You know what I mean? Louis Bella robe, $152. Lacey everyday thong, $7. So blue, red, and black. And then of course Lula Bella robe. So you got gold, turquoise, I believe, red, and black. Kimono love hot pink there. Then bodysuit $60. So kimono hot pink, love hot pink $48. Bodysuit $60. They got panties and rockers. We're gonna go through everything, y'all, because that's what we do around here. That's what we do. That's what we do. That is what we do. So we're gonna start with the bodysuits. By the way, enjoy free shipping on orders over $55, y'all. So the Bella bodysuit sold out. So red, black, brown. Oh Lord. And it looks like that's gray, I think, maybe. But $42 for that. Heartthrob, $60 there. Hearts all over, $55. Miss Pretty, $60 there. Heartthrob 2 in red, $60. And Royal Emerald, $60 as well. Okay, so that's all of the bodysuits. Okay, the only one that's sold out right now is the Bell bodysuit. Okay, so that's all the bodysuits. For the curvy girlies, 1X to 4X. Okay, all right, yes indeed. So you got Blushing in Spring for $60. You got Royal Emerald for $60. Miss Pretty for $60. Heartthrob 2 for $60. So those are the items for the curvy girlies. And by the way, y'all see the prices, right? $60 across the board for all this for these lingeries and this robe for curvy girlies from 1X to 4X. With the bodysuits, highest price is $60 for the bodysuits, right? Now we're going to look at the shirts. Okay, we're going to look at the shirts here. So you have Naughty CEO, Amen. Let me tell you something. If I marry a female CEO, I'm getting her that for when I come by the office. Okay, that shirt, you put it on when I'm here. Nobody else. Listen, I don't believe it's nothing wrong with a husband working for the wife. Listen, if everybody's bringing in an income, and guess what? I remember Tabitha Brown being able to retire her husband. Let's be grateful that there are women who still want to do good things for men, just like there are still men who want to do good things for women. And not to mention, too, some men actually want to be supportive of their wives. Like, I don't get it. Like, we want people to support women, but yet when they support, it's called simple. What we doing here? A girly satin sleep shirt pink, $60 here. And then girly satin sleep shirt black for $60 there, okay? So those are the shirts. Then we get into sleepwear, okay? All right. So lacy dress right here, $89. Gianna satin sleep gown, $45 sold out, and sexy satin slip, $42 sold out. So these two are sold out here. So that's all the sleepwear. Then we're going to get into the panties, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Lacy everyday thong, $7 there, right? And then everyday thong, $7 there. And then, of course, right here, the satin rompers, okay? Gina romper, $42. Martina romper, red, $100. And Martina romper, black, $36. The highest thing that you can get on here is $100. The lowest thing you can get is $7. Y'all, come on. Come on. Come on. And this is created by a black woman. Okay, there's a black woman out here creating lingerie for black women, of black women, for black women, of black women, and by black women. Come on, you can't get better than that. Let me see if they got a YouTube channel. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. And don't worry, y'all, I will post the link to this in the live chats. That way you guys are able to get it. What the? Why is it saying 6 a.m.? What the hell? Give me a moment, y'all. I'm so sorry. I did not see that, y'all. I was making the shows this morning. I just noticed that, y'all. 6 p.m. Let me change that. Edit. 6 p.m. There we go. All right, y'all. My bad. So that show's been updated for 6 p.m. The Disney Pop Century Resort and Resort Breakdown Town Hall. Okay, I was about to say, like, what the hell? Okay, let me see something. Okay, so there's a cosmetics brand, but I'm not seeing black owned. Okay, it does not have a YouTube channel. Let me just show y'all this here, okay? It does not have a YouTube channel, right? But it does have a Instagram, right? So let me show y'all that. Because anytime we can get their social media up, that's what we want to do. So here it is here. So this is the brand right here. So just to show y'all here. Okay. Like I said, does she come with the lingerie? Like, I'll buy the lingerie and support the brand, but does she come with it? I need to stop playing. But no, I truly love being able to showcase what we can be as a people. It's really, really a beautiful thing. So let me drop this link to bellaatier.com, y'all. So shout out to Angelica Whaley for doing this. A great brand. I said nothing but light, love, and prayers to this great company. So there it is there. If you guys want to go there and buy some black-owned lingerie, okay, listen. I showcased Jay Nolan's, stuff for years with Melody Cherie. I pray Jay Nolan, Jay Boland rather, is still doing it. I actually saw a photo of him and Millie Chun. Millie Chun, that face card, darling. Woo, jeez. I don't say Millie Chun leave for no damn reason, but I think she's married, sadly. So. I know, brothers. I know. We will commiserate at the Thickalicious Church of God in Christ Gospel Baptist Church this Sunday. I'll see y'all for service at 11 a.m. All love to Millie Chun. Like, comment, share, subscribe to Millie Chun TV, everybody. All right, let's keep going, everybody. As you guys know, the Howard University scandal is still going on here. So shout out to W Top News here for this update here. Howard University interim president says more than 200 students re-enrolled of 502 who received email. Howard University interim president Wayne Frederick told WTOP on Wednesday more than 200 students have been re-enrolled of the 502 who received an email last week informing them that they had been unenrolled less than a month before the start of classes. Frederick joined WTOP's Mark Lewis to talk about the university's response to controversy and why it happened in the first place. Listen to the full interview and read the transcript below. So we're going to read the transcript here. The transcript below has been lightly edited for clarity. Mark Lewis, can you tell us about how many students are now back at the school officially? Wayne Frederick, just north of a couple hundred students have been re-enrolled for a variety of reasons. Primarily, despite being late, there was some misunderstanding about what the 50% payment on the outstanding balance was. In some circumstances, documentation for scholarships and other type of aid that they had, they were able to show us. Although it was late, we decided to offer those students an opportunity to join us in the fall. All 502 will be having full ride scholarships. Okay? All right, moving on. Wayne Frederick. Mark Lewis, now do you think there's a resolution here for the majority of the students who were affected? Wayne Frederick, there is a resolution for everybody. I don't like this statement. It's stupid, it's asinine, and it's just gutter behavior. There's a resolution for everybody, and that resolution includes some of the students. As I said, more than 200 of them will be with us. Unfortunately for the other students, they won't be able to join this fall. But we're offering them a resolution that includes the ability to transfer to defer their enrollment, or they choose to enroll elsewhere. That we will help them any way they can to get them to wherever they want to be. Bruh, like, see, this is why I want to be wealthy. Hey, Wayne Frederick, all them going to Howard for free. I'm paying it. End of story. Take that retraction out, or I'm going to take your ass to court for doing these students wrong. Click. Now, I know some of y'all railing, do you not have no class distinction or grace about yourself? Why you got to go off on people? Why you got to call people? Why you got to do this, that, and third? Y'all, if this was your child, not being able to go to Howard University after your child did everything that they were supposed to do, would you not go off? My God, what is wrong with y'all? Mark Lewis, we know that many more students were able to file procedures. They met the deadline. They weren't enrolled. This group of 500 this year, it seems like an awfully high number to most of us. Is this a regular recurrence? Or would you say this is an unusual situation that you're facing this year with the numbers this high? Wayne Frederick, so let me say, while there's been so much attention on these 500 students, excuse me, there's supposed to be attention on these 500 students. What the? See, this is why I wish Dexter was real sometimes. I wish there was a Dexter task force. A DTF, Dexter Task Force, a Dexter Task Force, a Dexter Task Force. If you know what Dexter is all about, then I'm not going to make 1 + 2 = 3 for you. But we need a Dexter Task Force just to, in the words of Sheree, shift themselves just a little bit. To shift them rather just a little bit. Because it's like these 500 students deserve to go to school just like these 2,265 students deserve to go to school too. The hell wrong with you? Of our students met all the criteria, did everything we asked them and got right. So you're elevating the other students, but down these 500 students like they didn't do nothing right. Okay. I'm so very glad that you pointed that out, and kudos to them. We want to be able to come to campus and see that we're ready to have them. And part of this is making sure we're ready. And part of this is making sure that we're ready, making sure that everything's in place. I would say it's not a usual number. Let me be clear. As a private institution, we have a very, very high Pell Grant student base, which they have tried to reduce the Pell Grant because of the dumb fuck that everybody else voted for and his administration and his supporters voted for. My God, Jesus, today. My God, today. Which means we have about 47% of our income in class coming from lower income family circumstances. We have several students that right now live in homeless shelters. Even before coming to us, we have students who are not in contact with either parent. So of all those posed challenges in terms of students being able to meet deadlines, we recognize that, which is why we put our financial aid packages earlier than we ever had before, as early as March. And so it's not unusual, but it is unusual as an institution, a private institution, to have such a high Pell Grant population. And so as a result, trying to do everything earlier to try to support the students is the best way. And the best way is a very key part of our strategy. Mark Lewis, I'm sure you have heard from critics about this entire situation who feel that's a bad look for Howard University. Are you concerned about the school's reputation taking a hit from the situation? I'm not. So you're not concerned that this could damage the legacy of the university that's about truth and service? My God, he's the interim president. I mean, we got the black version of Josh tomorrow at this point. My God, today. I don't want to be naive that negativity in the social media realm and in the press isn't good for us, but I also think people say things like, because we're Howard, we should accept these students if they don't follow procedures, etc. No. No one has said that. No one has said that. No one has said that. What we're saying is, how in the flying hell can 500 students be unenrolled automatically that quickly? People have the right to ask questions. Dude, this might be Ticket TV's brother. Oh my God, this is just, my God, today. I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I think that's a very misguided commentary. I also think that the commentary suggests that we should take the students just because of their circumstances is also a bad commentary, because the same people will be on social media and your media outlets will cover stories if we do not have our dorms ready. There was I'm sorry. Do we want to go back to this? Do we want to go back to this? Let's do this. Let's do this, shall we? Here we go from NBC News. Howard University students protest mold and rodents in campus dorms. Okay. This story came out October 25th, 2021. Right here, a student, right here, check this out. Many students have reported to the university and shared on social media mold in the dorms, Wi-Fi connection problems, dining halls infested with rats and roaches, and unresponsive administration. Let me repeat that 2 more times for Wayne Frederick, since his Mitch ass don't want to just own up to the fact that there's something not sweet in the Kool-Aid here. That there's something sweet in the Kool-Aid, rather. Many students have reported to the university, shared on social media, mold in the dorms, Wi-Fi connection problems, dining halls infested with rats and roaches, and an unresponsive administration. Many students have reported to the university and shared on social media mold in the dorms, Wi-Fi connection problems, dining halls infested with rats and roaches, and an unresponsive administration. There was a student who was not able to connect to Wi-Fi over a month and couldn't access Blackboard, a platform colleges use for assignments and grades. So, sir, shut the fuck up disrespectfully, okay? Sincerely, disrespectfully, right? That was a fact that happened, okay? That wasn't just media outlets covering that because they want to be an asshole to Howard. No, that happened. What you want me to do? You saw the thumbnail. You know my voice, and damn it, you know why you're here. And the words of Roland are, if you do good, I'm going to talk about you. If you do bad, I'm going to talk about you. But either way, I'm going to talk about you. So stop the cat. But I bet you this much, if Kamala Harris was on the campus, she would not be in any place at Howard that has roaches or rats. I bet you that. I bet you she would get her Wi-Fi together so she can do what she needs to do. And I bet you that she would be in no place at Howard that has mold in it. Stop that shit. See, sometimes you got to speak to people right where they are sometimes. If we don't have adjunct faculty to hire to teach the class, etc., and to do that, not knowing who's going to be here on the first day of class would be inappropriate. So, from a reputational point of view, I do think when you look at what we do as an institution, the fact that we continually put quality grads and offer excellent programs, I think that will win the day ultimately, and that people will appreciate over time what we're trying to get this plan done earlier and earlier so we can make sure that the student experience here at Howard is the best. Mark Lewis, Dr. Frederick, how can Howard make sure that something like this doesn't happen again and you have to go through a process like this and families are going through weeks of concern about where the students will attend college? Wayne Frederick, well, as you know, it's unfortunate what happened, but yet you elevate 2,000 other students saying they did the right thing and then negate that these 500 students may not have done the right thing when you don't know that. But I also think the silver lining is that people know we are going to hold these deadlines and we're going to communicate as much as we have from March. I anticipate next year we won't have the problem because people will follow the guideline. It's not like they didn't follow the guidelines this time. You're basically saying that these students who applied are not intelligent with this, sir. 80% of communication is nonverbal. You got to listen to the quiet part that's not being said out loud, y'all. And so I anticipate that next year we won't have the problem because people will follow those guidelines and will recognize as well that for us to plan accordingly, we do take those guidelines seriously. I think people take them seriously and will follow through as well. We will continue to make sure that we also improve our communication. Hire people. Good damn. I cannot. I'll never forget. There was a woman named Pat at Kent State University. I was in Upward Bound. And I said to the Upward Bound students, you don't have to let your professors know that you want more than just a PowerPoint. Because for some professors, they think creativity is a PowerPoint. And I said that, we need more professors. And you know what Patty said to me? You could go back for your master's, doctorate, or PhD, or y'all can hire people with bachelor degrees. And the face she gave me was like, oh, SMH, because I said the quiet part out loud. You got all these people with bachelor degrees who are willing to teach if you just give them a course. Give me a moment, y'all. Sorry, y'all, I have an appointment later on today. That's why I need to do the show earlier. And shout out to my mom. Love her, value her, appreciate her, like my dad's and my sister, brothers and sisters as well. Right here, let's see here. Where were we? And we expand them as well, and we give every student an opportunity if they are unable to meet them to meet and try to help. Unable to meet it, to try to help them. Well, like I said before, with this professor shortage, y'all are creating the shortage. There are plenty, like I was saying before my mom called, there are plenty of people with bachelor degrees that if you just teach them, y'all could have people. I would love to be able to teach people what I know, but you gotta move the goalposts. Just because you have a master's, doctorate, PhD doesn't mean you have the soul to understand the industry that you're teaching. The hell? Wendy Williams went to college, got her bachelor degree. I believe she got a bachelor degree, right? Make sure it's down. She did go to college. I know she did. Did Wendy Williams graduate college? Did Wendy Williams graduate college? Yeah, she graduated from Northeastern University in 1996 with a bachelor degree in communication. She says she's always wanted to teach, but she got to get a doctorate, master, or PhD to do it. If you recognize what people have and work with them to build on what they have, we wouldn't be in this ish. Good damn. All right. Finally, our last destination, y'all. And when I saw this story, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? All right. So I'm going to show right now this story. This story surprised me from Vanity Fair. Here we go. Here we go. Inside the 30-year fight to release Whitney Houston and Brandy's Cinderella soundtrack. So I had no idea that the Cinderella soundtrack was not out. Like I said, let me say that 2 more times. Inside, right here we go. Inside the 30-year fight to release Whitney Houston and Brandy's Cinderella soundtrack. Inside the 30-year fight to release Whitney Houston and Brandy's Cinderella soundtrack. Recording the album was a magical 48-hour whirlwind. Whitney Houston, a superstar in her vocal prime, and Brandy, the rising talent, just discovered the full scope and range of her gifts, joined forces with the best producers in the game. So where is it? Shout out to Chris Murphy for bringing this story to our attention here. And of course, there is the one and only Whitney Houston. There's our Black Cinderella, Brandy. And by the way, you can see Brandy as Black Cinderella in Descendants. He is continuing on the legacy. Oh, if Whitney was here, oh my God, it would have been amazing. Okay, here we go. A confident, poised Whitney Houston. I'm just going to read the opening because, of course, as you can see, you got to subscribe to continue, but no worry, I got the article. I'm going to start off here. A confident, poised Whitney Houston and a doe-eyed Brandy Norwood are standing around a grand piano in a wood panel recording studio. The year is 1997. The two singers are in the midst of learning the duet Impossible, Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, for their forthcoming televised remount of the musicale for ABC. That made-for-TV movie, groundbreaking in the diversity of its cast as well as its decision to make a 16-year-old Norwood the first Black Cinderella, and Houston, her fairy godmother, will go on to become one of Disney's biggest risks and biggest success stories. Cinderella pulled in 60 million viewers when it first aired on November 2nd, 1997. It sequentially sold the most home videos for any made-for-TV movie at that time. Let me say that 2 more times. 60 million viewers and sold the most home videos of any made-for-TV movie at that time. 60 million viewers and sold the most home videos of any made-for-TV movie at that time. As a result, Cinderella has become an indelible cultural artifact for a generation of fairy tale loving millennials. Now, let's finish the rest of the story out here because I have it for y'all. And like I said, I had no idea about this. Like I said, when I'm off on Thursdays, I'm off unless there is something in the culture that needs to be talked about. And also, too, on Thursdays, I catch up, right? So I look for different destinations and stuff like that. And when I saw this destination, I'm like, we have to talk about this on the show. We just have to. So here we go. Right here. But singing around the piano while being filmed for Entertainment Tonight for a behind-the-scenes package about the making of Cinderella. Cinderella, Whitney, and Brandy don't know any of that yet. They're just trying to learn the damn song. In the words of Steve Harvey, damn is a legal radio word, okay? This is the note. This is your note. This is the note Houston says warmly but firmly. She's trying to guide her teenage co-star, who is somewhat inexplicably singing the melody an octave below where she should be, to the right pitch. Then a lovingly exasperated Houston delivers the iconic instantly line, "Why are you down here?" before belting out the notes herself in her singular fashion. Of course, Brandy, a pre-naturally gifted vocalist, eventually gets the notes right, and she and Houston are able to sing together in perfect harmony. Thanks to ET, Entertainment Tonight, we can still watch the pair sing a snippet of Impossible together, the recording booth, trading lines back and forth with each other, grinning from ear to ear as they lay the vocal down the vocal for the soundtrack. But that 4-minute package is all we have from that recording session. Considering the effort that went into recording the album, one producer for Brandy, another for Whitney, reinvented the songs behind Disney's most famous princess, as well as the massive success for the film, you think that it would be a sure thing for it to be released. Well, you'd be mistaken. You know, the release would be great for D23, but of course that's not going to happen because that would just be too intelligent. Josh Tomorrow intelligence really don't compute well. And by the way, I'm being facetious. Josh Tomorrow has put in the groundwork to be CEO, but my God, like Disney is more for promotion than connection nowadays. Just keep it up. Well, you'll be mistaken. Despite enduring love for fans, you can't buy a 1997 Cinderella CD or vinyl for your niece's birthday. You can't stream the soundtrack on Spotify or Apple Music, thanks to warring record labels of the 90s and industry red tape. The Cinderella album has been lost to time. Oh my God, it's ridiculous that this album never happened. Cinderella producer Deborah Marin Chase tells me on the phone. Deborah Marin Chase is a legend. Okay, all right. Her resume is extensive. It would take up a whole hour just to tell you. Okay, the first Black female producer to land a deal at a major studio. Let me say that again. The first Black female producer to land a deal at a major studio. The first Black female producer to land a deal at a major studio. Chase was the engine behind Cinderella, producing the film alongside Neil Moran and the late Craig Zada. And for this purposes, let it be crass. She says bluntly, it's money you're leaving on the table. The fact that the Cinderella cast album was never released was the greatest heartbreak of Houston's career. Zada, who visited Houston in Atlanta the year before her death in 2012, said in an interview, it didn't make sense to her that there was no album. She just couldn't understand the fact that the album was never released is one of the biggest mistakes which needs to be rectified, says Murray. What's tricky about the Cinderella album is precisely how much time has passed since it's recorded. Many of the executives and employees at Hearst, Atlantic, and Disney Music Group weren't around for the label's complex contract negotiations of 1997. Some of them weren't even born. With the 30-year anniversary of Cinderella fast approaching, Houston's greatest heartbreak may have a chance to be mended. In exclusive conversations with Vanity Fair, creators behind the film and recording of the soundtrack said that maybe, just maybe, there's hope for the album's release after all, but it won't be easy. In the 3 decades that have passed, label disputes that buried the Cinderella album in the 90s have only grown more complex as the music industry evolved. Nevertheless, Cinderella producers in Whitney Houston's estate are determined to get the album out to the public. Pat Houston, Whitney Houston's sister-in-law, former manager, and now the executor of her estate, confirmed to Vanity Fair that the lack of a Cinderella album was a great heartbreak of Houston's career. Releasing the album would celebrate not just Whitney's voice, but her vision, Houston said in a statement to Vanity Fair. The absence of a soundtrack has devastated many of her fans. My God. Like Cinderella's night at the ball, recording the album was a magical whirlwind. For less than 48 hours, the Cinderella team gathered at Capitol Records, that famous, iconic building, okay? Listen, I would just love to... Here's a question. Does Capitol Record... Let me ask you. Because I'm sure, I know you just can't walk in the building just because you can walk in. Does Capitol Records do public tours of their building? Okay, so they do not offer regular public tours of the famous tower or recording studios. They should, because that would be that's music history. But anyway, the famous studio where greats like Judy Garland, Frank Sinatra recorded their albums. Arif Mardin, the late legendary Turkish-American music producer who worked with greats like the Queen of Soul, Franklin, the Bee Gees, and Diane Warwick, served as music producer alongside relative newcomer Chris Martin. Martin had already overseen the soundtracks for major Disney hits like The Little Mermaid, 1989, Beauty and the Beast, 1991, Aladdin, 1992, or The Lion King, 1994. And we're going to produce a soundtrack for over 100 Disney movie and television projects. Chris Montana is a Disney legend, ladies and gentlemen. That's basically what that was basically what was said there. Martin, who died in 2006, and was more the senior of the two and worked closer with Houston. Martin was more focused on Brandy. She doesn't mean Chris, I'm a little nervous, Martin recalled. When he asked her why, Brandy's answer revealed just how far out of her comfort zone leaving a golden age musical was. Well, I never sung opera before, she said. Houston was completely different story. We might have done all her stuff in one night, says audio mixer Frank Wolf, who was in the studio with both Martin and Marvin. Like many divas, Houston had a habit of showing up late. When she was finished, when she was finished, she was finished. She said, "I'm putting my shoes on," recalls Martin. I looked at Arif and said, "Well, what does that mean?" He goes, "She's done." Laughs. When Houston put her shoes on, that means you got everything you're going to get. Going into the recordings, the Cinderella producers didn't know which label, if any, would release the album. We decided that we recorded anyway, Martin said, because we thought, who wouldn't want this album? This is something that'll last forever. A lot of ink, but for something to last forever, it has to exist. A lot of ink has been spilled on how risky it was for Disney to make a lot of ink has been spilled, rather, about how risky it was for Disney to make Cinderella with a diverse cast and 2 black leads, but less has been written about how risky Cinderella was for both Houston and Brand. They were recording artists in their own right, one at the height of her superstar, the other just embarking on the journey, juggling their careers with their eyes set on a passion project discovered by the legendary producer Clive Davis. Houston was signed to Arista Records, which Davis found in 1974, now arm of Sony Music. Arista Records was one of the most commercially successful and defined pop labels of the late 20th century. Davis, arguably the most renowned executive producer of his generation, managing the careers of superstars like Houston, Barry Manilow, Pat Smith, Tony Braxton, Usher, or Aretha Franklin. Meanwhile, Brandy was signed to Atlantic Records, founded in 1947 by Art Elgin and Herb Emerson. Atlantic Records helped define popular music, specializing in launching black R&B and soul acts into the mainstream. Began with artists like Ray Charles, Otis Redding. They have since expanded their purview to include artists like Charlie XCX, Bruno Mars, and recently Miley Cyrus became an influential record label in its own right. At the time of Cinderella, Brandy was fresh off her critically acclaimed debut album and worked with Craig Kaufman as her artist and oh my God, isn't that artist in development? No, that's AD. That's AR. A&R in the music industry. Artist and repertoire, okay. As her artist and repertoire rep, Kalman left Atlantic Records in 2025 as now the chief music officer of Warner Music Group. Vanity Fair reached out to Kalman for comment rather. Given Atlantic's reputation for being able to create crossover mainstream black artists, it's not entirely surprising Atlantic was more than a bit nervous for Brandy, a rising star in the realm of R&B, to drop a classic musical theater album or musical theater album. Atlantic was positioning her as a big R&B singer, and they thought that the album Cinderella would hurt her image and her brand as an R&B artist. Says producer Chase Barron recalls the same tension of fear which put the kibosh on the album was Atlantic film that it would ruin Brandy's cred. Chase takes a deep slice on retrospect, so short-sighted, right? Because Brandy just got her star on the Walk of Fame. So hello. Cinderella producers say that both initially Arista and Atlantic were hesitant to release the album, like Cinderella's stepmother forbidding them to tend the ball. Over time, it seems Davis and Arista Records were ultimately more amenable to the album being released than Atlantic Records. According to Chase, Clive really did take it on. We kept going back to Atlantic, asking them to reconsider. It never went to the real plan stages because it was cut off at the knees, with them refusing to participate. Vanity Fair reached out to a representative for Clive Davis. Clive Davis's estate has not received an answer at the time of publication. Wolf recalls working with Houston when she was in her a little rougher times. It was more difficult. He says, looking back, she never wasn't great. Davis was apparently so gung-ho about getting the album out after previously wanted to keep the album away from the public that he was ultimately willing to let a rival label publish the soundtrack. Clive, bless his heart, could see the big picture. He was like, this deserves to be in the world, Chase adds. He at one point said, it can go on Atlantic. I don't care. This needs to be in existence. But even Davis, at the time, the music industry could make the impossible happen. Atlantic was steadfast and they just refused, said Chase. It was kind of down to the wire. They were just like, no. Vanity Fair reached out to Atlantic Records and Hearst Records for comment at the time of publication, but there's no official comment from the labels. Through her representative, Brandy Norwood declined to comment for this story. Did Brandy refuse to comment because there was an NDA sign, like, or maybe it's just too much? Like, the story's out now. Like, listen, at least Vanity Fair went to Brandy. They didn't just publish this without trying to get all sources, which is what you're supposed to do as a journalist, right? Or even if you are a commentator, still have integrity with a journalistic soul. Right. In the 30 years since Cinderella premiered, it seems other efforts were made to get the album out to the public. When the VHS tape went on sale, it was gigantic from the first day, on which also reignited the conversation for the album, says Murren, but selling over 2 million VHS videos by 1999 and becoming the highest selling video release of any made for television film at the time. Yes, becoming the highest selling video release of any made for television film at the time. Becoming the highest selling video release of any made for television film at the time. Still didn't push the needle in regards to the album release. Still didn't happen. So back then, we weren't respected. And now, same story, different players, says Murray. Of course, when Houston tragically died at the age of 48 at the Beverly Hills Hotel, the Beverly Hilton Hotel in 2012, the pain of not having the album was more visceral than ever. Everyone bumped their heads together, and then it was just put to bed for a while. Says Myron, when Whitney passed away, we kept on thinking, why don't we have this album? So it took Whitney Houston passing away for y'all to recognize that this album should be out for the people. How about the album should just come out because it's good? Good damn. Let's see here. The most recent attempt to get the Cinderella album out in the world happened in 2012, around the 25th anniversary of Cinderella. Sources told Vanity Fair that a potential release of the album was apparently close to getting over the finish line in August, and there was even talk of releasing 1 or 2 tracks individually. But another high-profile Houston project, Whitney Houston biopic, I Want to Dance with Somebody, starring Naomi Aki, was set to come out on December 23rd, 2022. Complicating matters. They didn't want to bump that Whitney Houston biopic that came out. Let me see here. I want to see. So right here, this movie right here, right? Now, if they were smart, right? If these producers were smart, if Pat Houston was smart, what I would have done, hey, let's mention the fact in the movie that Whitney did Cinderella in the film, and guess what? That film would have given Black people the moment of, oh, let me go look up Cinderella and go rewatch that. People do that all the time. I think Avengers Endgame is going back in the theaters to promote Doomsday. Come on now. That would have... Oh, idiots. Moving on. Said Myron of the Houston estate, Vanity Fair has asked Houston estate about this claim but has not received an answer at the time of publication. There was also another unforeseen roadblock involving record label, but this time, in an unexpected twist, it wasn't Atlantic or Hearst complicating Cinderella's release. It was Disney. From what I've been told, HowU Records has been stopping it. Since a subsidy of Disney Music Group, HowU Records is a record label devoted to Disney artists and soundtracks for Disney projects. Myron believes that HowU Records currently owns the Cinderella Masters and stands to potentially gain the most from the release of the album. Didn't y'all just do HBCU things at Disneyland? Disney on the Yard, Drum Major Mickey, y'all were just at Essence. Like, stop the cap. Do you not know if you release that album at midnight? Look, this is what I would do if I'm Disney. Now, Disney is not going to be this intelligent because they don't have intelligence. But if I was a CEO, all right, Hollywood Records, you're going to do it or I'm going to fire all you fucks. That's the first thing. Second thing, we're going to do a dual release party. Okay? Cinderella Castle, right? At Walt Disney World and at Disney California Adventure, World of Color at midnight. World of Color will do a show with the Cinderella soundtrack in the World of Color show, and then a fireworks show at Walt Disney World with the Cinderella soundtrack. So the music is being released to the world at midnight with 2 simultaneous shows involving the Cinderella soundtrack. That's how you would do it. I would live stream it on social media and broadcast it live on ABC and stream it on Disney Plus and Hulu. That's what a smart company would do, you dumb fucks. Brandy is the Black Cinderella in Descendants. And I'm trying not to go there for my sister's sake because she said be nicer to Disney. I'm trying, but they're being dumbasses. And I have to say what it is. I gotta get ready to wrap up because my mom will be here shortly. So we're almost done. We're almost done. A source close to Disney told Vanity Fair that Disney Music Group has never owned the rights or masters to the Cinderella album. In the 90s, Disney's Hollywood Records were considering releasing the album. At that point, Hollywood Records was going to do it, but Atlantic wouldn't budge. Since my ambassador years were on, the music industry transformed, so too did Hollywood Records' relationship with a gem of an album they seemed to be sitting on. In November 2022, the Walt Disney Company went through a major shakeup. Bob Iger returned as CEO of the Walt Disney Company, replacing his handpicked successor, Bob Chapek. Iger proceeded to restructure the company, dismantling the Disney Media Entertainment Distribution Division, which was a dumbass decision, just like moving America's #1 morning show from Times Square into the basement of a glorified building named after itself called the Robert E. Iger Building, because that Media Entertainment Distribution Division could have been making content for Disney Plus and Hulu and A&E Global Media and third parties, but that's neither here nor there. But that's the smart genius of Bob Iger, ladies and gentlemen. Said no one ever. So maybe at the time, dusting off a 25-year-old album, multiple labels involved was at the forefront of anyone at Disney's minds. If I was Disney, I'd say, let's aim at getting a record ready to go. Next year's 30 year anniversary. Let's air it again. Do a theatrical release, okay? And release an album. Oh, there's one last reason Wolf thinks the album deserves to be heard. It's fucking Whitney, Houston, and Brandy. Thank you to Mr. Wolf. It's fucking Whitney, Houston, and Brandy. It's fucking Whitney, Houston, and Brandy. What's tricky about the Cinderella album is precisely how much time has passed since it was recorded. Many of the executives and employees at Hearst, Atlantic Disney Music Group were around for the label disputes and complex contract negotiations in 1997. Some of them were even more. Multiple sources at the various record labels expressed their wish for the Cinderella to be released either then or now, but admitted that they were completely unaware of the drum that had prevented its release in the first place and were unsure exactly what would be necessary to get the album across the finish line today. What we do know is that by the 2020s, there were at least 3 different labels involved in needing to sign off for the Cinderella to ever be released. I don't believe Atlantic Records can move forward without approval from both Hearst and Atlantic Records. So this is why sometimes it's important to have black CEOs, because black CEOs, we about doing the right thing. Okay, yes. Okay, we're gonna make a contract here, and if y'all renege on this, y'all will be paying $50 million. You don't want a $50 million damage fee for lying to the people, right? That's how you put pressure on people. Says Pat Houston, but wait, there's more. A fourth label also has a vested interest in getting this album to the public. Concord, the largest independent music publishing company in the world, purchased the Rodgers and Hammerstein organization in 2017 and now owns the rights to Rodgers and Hammerstein's entire catalog. Igmon Lloyd Webber, yes, that's the daughter of EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony winner, and Broadway icon Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber, and also the rival of Maxwell Sheffield in the sitcom The Nanny. that was on CBS, is the executive vice president at Concord Theatrical and oversees the Roger Hammerstein brand for Concord. Myron says that Weber has made it a mission of hers to try and solve the mystery. That's why this did come together. Shout out to the daughter of Sir Angelo Weber, and Mongun Lord Weber. Shout out to you, the sista. It's been almost 30 years since viewers were first entranced by Brandy and Whitney Houston and the rest of the cast. Iconic performances in Roger Hammerstein, Cinderella, said Weber, and Sing to Andy Fair. We hear the Cinderella fans and know that they've been clamoring for an album. Concord is at the race for HowU Records, our partners at Disney, and all involved in this project to finally get the soundtrack released and for the enjoyment of lifelong fans who are soon to discover its magic. For its part, Myron told me that he believes that the album is in a vault somewhere, and what's more, he has a copy of it. Of course, I have it. He said, Amon had no idea that there was a complete album, so I sent the album over to them so they know it exists. For those wondering why so much fuss we made over an album, when the movie is available to be streamed, the Cinderella album isn't exactly the same as the movie version. For example, Houston's memorable high note at the end of Impossible, a source told Vanity Fair Houston wasn't thrilled with some of her vocals and intended to re-record a few moments, perhaps. The last note in the Impossible was one to grab that note from TV soundtrack to add to the film, to admire, and then with confession. Now, 30 years later, all the label drama scenes besides one for multiple reasons. Y'all. Wait a minute. Where is it? Okay, I got it now. Okay. Hang on, y'all. I didn't get the rest of the story. Oh my God. Give me a moment. Because we're going to finish this story. We definitely are. Give me a moment. I'll just gotta do this. Okay, so we were at the now 30 years later, right? Okay, awesome. Okay. Give me one moment, everybody. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Okay. Because now we're almost there. Right. And like I said, shout out to this good brother right here, Chris Murphy. Shout out to you, Chris Murphy. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Great work. Okay, here we go. Now, 30 years later, all the label drama seems besides the point for multiple reasons. From a business standpoint, this is a valuable asset that will make money, Chase says. It's just a gorgeous soundtrack of a movie that now has the legacy status that the fans want. What's more, there's also a new generation prime to experience that already have a way in. Brandy has stepped back into her glass slippers, starring as Cinderella on the Disney Channel movie Descendants Wicked Wonderland, which follows the children of beloved Disney characters once more. Brandy's prince, Paulo Montalban, stars opposite her in the film, now all grown up as King Charming, keeping the legacy of the 1997 Cinderella movie alive. Although there's a younger built-in audience primed for more Cinderella content, Myron thinks that some work will have to be done to update the masters and to locate where exactly Disney might be keeping them, if they have them at all. We'll probably have to track down what kind of vault it's in, says Monta. It's probably in some Disney Vault, Kansas City Underground, where they will have a lot of that stuff. For what it's worth, Disney has a secure underground film vault located in the Hudson Salt Mine in Kansas. A source close to Disney told Vanity Fair, for the record is not being kept in a Disney vault. If anything, the idea of unreleased Whitney Houston vocals, even if they were ultimately unfinished at the height of her powers, should be enough to get anyone with ears interested in getting the album out. Wolf recalls working with Houston when she was a bit tougher at times. It was more difficult. Looking back, but she never was great. By Capitol Records, recording the Cinderella album, Everything Was a Dream 30 years later. Wouldn't this be a cool thing for a next generation of Whitney fans to see her in a completely different light? Says Martin, it's all positive. I can't find any negative on it. Martin has another wish along with the album coming out. I wish we could do a reunion concert 30 years later. He says, name checking other Cinderella cast members like Whoopi Goldberg, Victor Garber, and Bernadette Peters. I know Brandy can still sing it, he adds, and even has an idea who could potentially step into Houston's shoes for a reunion concert. Jennifer Hudson, Cynthia Erivo. Let's do Cynthia Erivo, okay? I mean, Defying Gravity beats out any Jennifer Hudson record. Okay, let's not do this. Let's not do this. Okay, listen. And I think that Wicked actually made more money than Dreamgirls. Give me a moment. Did the Wicked movies make more than Dreamgirls? Even the first Wicked film alone vastly outperformed the entire global run of Dreamgirls. Dreamgirls grossed about $155.4 million worldwide during its theatrical run. For 2024 for Wicked, it grossed roughly $758 million globally for just the first film, and then another 525.8 million or more in 2025 for Good. Together, the Wicked films pulled in over $1.2 billion combined, easily surpassing Dreamgirls. Listen. I don't want to hear it. No. I'm gonna show you. Okay, for those of you who don't believe me, I'm gonna just show you. Here it is, right here. Oh my God! Wow. Okay, all right. She shouldn't have a talk show. End of discussion. Jennifer Hudson should not have a talk show, rather. Okay, let's continue. Wordsworth Houston's estate is more than open to the idea. I believe the 30th anniversary Cinderella concert will be amazing, says Scott Houston. It seems like, especially with Whitney being gone, it would be kind of a slam dunk, says Wolf. If I were Disney, I said, let's aim to get a record ready to go next year's 30th anniversary. Let's air it again and do a theatrical release as well. Hello. And release an album. Oh, there's one last reason Wolf thinks the album deserves to be heard. It's fucking Whitney Houston and Brandy. And hopefully one day they will talk about impossible dreams, says Marlon wistfully. It has been a question on all of our parts to right or wrong. Is it impossible that the public will ever hear the Cinderella album? It's hard to say. As a wise one once saying, impossible things are happening every day. Yes, indeed. So there's Brandy, there is Whitney, there is Deborah Martin Chase, and there's Craig Zada right there. Shout out to that. What a great show. 3 hours, 2 minutes, 44 seconds here. Let me see if I can get y'all a positive news story, and then we're going to be out of here. I'm going to have to wrap up the show early because, I usually do all the commercials, but I got an appointment. So. But what a great, great show, man. And like I said, I wanted to end the show on that. Okay, I wanted to end the show on that. Okay, so because guess what? It's Friday and we need something good. Okay, so to all the students at Howard, New York is stepping in, but also hundreds of students, but also Governor Westmore is stepping in as well. Here we go, y'all. This is your positive news story of the day.
You were one of the hundreds of students disenrolled from Howard University just weeks before move-in. I want you to know this, Maryland, we've got your back. Howard University is an important institution and we support its students. And that's why my administration is working with the University of Maryland System Schools to provide expedited admissions and financial aid options to those impacted. So if you were impacted, you can also receive an $800 credit to help offset your non-refundable Howard deposit. So reach out on email to the team on the screen
right here.
Because
so that is OSFAMAILMHEC@maryland.gov. Give me a moment, y'all. I will type in the chat. Don't worry. Okay, I got it. Damn. Don't worry, y'all. We're gonna get y'all. We're gonna get everybody together. Okay, so OSFAMIL.MHEC@maryland.gov. Howard University students. Let me tell you something. I believe Governor Westmore and Jasmine Crockett could be a great president and vice presidential team. I really do. I really do. I really do believe that.
Yes, we are here and we're ready to help.
Amen. 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 All right, y'all. That's it. I'll see you guys back here a little bit later on tonight at 6 o'clock for our Disney conversation. Okay. We will do that here tonight. As you can see right here, Pop Century Resort and Disney's Pop Century Resorts Breakdown Town Hall tonight at 6 p.m. And then at 8:30, I got Ticket TV's ass because he's doing way too damn much. Because people have questions. They're trying to gain understanding. You want to call them stupid and not have a brain and call them, liars and call them broke and stuff when you got 10 motherfucking ass channels on YouTube. Mitch, shut your ass up. I'll deal with his ass tonight at 8:30. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love. I send it right back to you. Bye, everybody.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
I've been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content.
Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn